We all have one, right? That place, that sweet spot where everything feels safe, familiar, and just easy. But what if I told you that very place, your comfort zone, is secretly holding you back? Today, we're diving into something called the comfort trap. This invisible force that promises safety, but might be quietly sabotaging your entire life. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off and start with a question that might sting a little. Is your comfort zone actually a prison? It's a pretty intense thought, isn't it? I mean, a prison is something you want to break out of. A comfort zone is something we all try to get into. But what if they're really the same thing? I want you to picture it like this. We all build this little metaphorical room for ourselves. Inside, it's filled with our favorite hobbies, our familiar routines, the people we know and trust. And let's be honest, it's pretty great in there. It's cozy, it's predictable, and most importantly, it feels so safe. But there's another name for this room, one it can turn into so easily. Let's call it your cozy prison. And that's where the problem starts. Because what happens when that cozy feeling starts to feel less like freedom and more like you're being confined? When that safety net you've so carefully built starts to feel less like a warm blanket and more like the walls are slowly, quietly closing in on you. So how do you even know? How can you tell if you're just comfortable or if you're actually trapped? Okay, let's get into the warning signs. All right, first things first, let's get a really clear definition on the table. The comfort trap isn't just, liking what you like. It is an active behavioral pattern. It's when you find yourself consistently dodging any situation that might cause even a little bit of anxiety. And every time you do that, you're pretty much slamming the door shut on your own personal growth. And what's wild is how normal these signs can feel. Like that automatic no that just pops into your head when someone suggests something new. That's a big one. Or confusing that feeling of being bored on the couch with a feeling of actual peace. Yep, that's another. Maybe you feel like your skills aren't really getting any sharper. Or your evenings are basically the same thing on repeat, same shows, same food. All these little, seemingly harmless choices, they're clues. Especially when you catch yourself coming up with these brilliant excuses for why you can't take on a challenge. So just take a second, be really honest with yourself. Does any of this sound familiar? You don't have to say it out loud, but if there's a little voice in your head going, yeah, that's me, just acknowledging that is a huge first step out of the trap. Because here's the thing, staying in that cozy room, it's not free. It comes at a cost. Let's talk about the very high price of comfort. This breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got the illusion, what comfort promises you. Safety, predictability, low stress. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? But then you look at the reality of the trap. That so-called safety is actually just stagnation. That predictability, well, that's really just a long list of missed opportunities. And that low stress you feel today often turns into deep, painful regret down the road. And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it. The real tragedy isn't that life ends. It's all the parts of ourselves, our curiosity, our potential, our courage that we just let wither and die simply because we chose to be comfortable instead of choosing to grow. Okay, I know, that got a little heavy, but I've got good news. This cozy prison, it has a lock. And guess what? The key is already in your pocket. So let's talk about how to actually pick that lock. And look, the escape plan isn't some giant, terrifying leap into the unknown. It's actually a super simple, totally manageable 3-step process. All you gotta do is get curious, start small, and completely redefine what failure even means to you. Okay, step 1 is all about reigniting that little spark of curiosity. It's the ultimate weapon against a boring routine. Your only mission is to seek out one new thing this week. Seriously, that's it. It could be listening to a podcast about something you know nothing about, talking to a coworker you rarely interact with, or just taking a different street on your way home. Simple. Next up, start small. And I mean tiny. So small that it feels almost ridiculous to say no. And here's the key. The goal isn't success. The goal is simply taking the uncomfortable action. That's it. Order something new at the coffee shop. Raise your hand in a meeting, even if your heart is pounding and you're worried you'll sound silly. The outcome literally doesn't matter. The attempt itself is the victory. And this brings us to the most powerful mindset shift of all.
redefining what discomfort feels like. That feeling of anxiety or awkwardness, it's not a stop sign. It is not a threat. You know what it is? It's the literal, physical feeling of your comfort zone expanding. It is the evidence that you are growing right in that moment.
So once you start picking that lock, you're going to begin to see that the world outside that cozy room, it's not as scary as you thought. As a matter of fact, it's where life really truly happens. Because beyond those walls lies everything the trap denies you. With every single small step, you build real earned confidence. You start picking up new skills that open doors you didn't even know were there. You find a deeper sense of fulfillment because you're actively participating in your own life. And maybe best of all, you invite the kind of wonderful, unexpected opportunities that simply can't find their way into a locked room. This quote from the former CEO of IBM, Ginni Rometty, just boils it all down to a fundamental truth. Growth and comfort do not coexist. It's that simple. You can have one or you can have the other, but you absolutely cannot have both. You have to choose. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about breaking down the walls for now. That's too big. Just focus on finding the door. What is one tiny, ridiculously small, uncomfortable step you can take today just to find the handle? Don't just think about it. Go do it.